यन्माया वशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जो यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम्बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरम् रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्। श्रीराम जय जय राम ओम 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 जय राम ओम जय राम ओम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Hari Om. We had seen the prasanga where Dashrath Maharaj has received the letter from the Dutas, the messengers of Janak Maharaj, and he gives instructions to Bharatji to get everything ready so that all of them can go to Mithila Nagari for the wedding. Goswamiji spent almost 10 dohas just elaborating the preparations in Ayodhya and how they did that journey from Ayodhya to Mithila. Whenever we see such prasanga, it's always nice to take a step back and say, okay, we saw doha by doha, although we didn't chant it, but we tried to translate every doha, every chaupai. What is a big picture idea that we can take from these 10 dohas? One thing we can appreciate is the relation that Dashrath Maharaj had with all his subjects. Ayodhyavasis are coming to this wedding not as guests. They are coming to this wedding as, Baratis, means they are on the side of Dashrath Maharaj. They are coming as though it is a wedding in their own house. Meaning the kind of leader that Dashrath Maharaj must have been, that none of them felt there is any difference between them and the king. Right? In contemporary setting, it's very hard to imagine that such a king, was there in those times. Means even leaders of today, they have weddings in their home and they invite many people. People come to that wedding as guests, not thinking that it is wedding in our own house. At the most, few people might come. But this wedding is such where everybody feels that this is going to, or this is happening in our own house. So all description Goswamiji gave us how these Ayodhyavasis are getting ready to come to this wedding. Second aspect that we can see in this entire prasanga, whenever there is a happy occasion, wedding is going to take place, everything is getting ready, they hear that good news through that letter. In all those occasions, they remember Bhagavan. One who can remember Bhagavan in Sukham, that person's mind will be equanimous. We all know our life is, like two sides of the coin. Sukha, dukkha, different experiences keep coming. But while there is Sukham, at that time, all of them, including Dashrath Maharaj, everybody else, they have made their mind very strong. Sukhme sumirana sab kare deyar. Not sukhme kare na koi. They do sumiran of Bhagwan even while they are in Sukham. And that is one of the key things of having an equanimous mind. And the last portion we saw in this entire prasanga is that Janak Maharaj builds a bridge for Dashrath Maharaj. This is the second chaupai above 304th doha. Avata jani bhanukula ketu saritani janaka badhaye setu. Janak Maharaj built that bridge knowing that Dashrath Maharaj is coming. The symbolic meaning of this chaupai is very deep. A lot of mananam has been done on this, great Mahatmas. They say the wedding has to take place between Sita ji and Bhagwan Ram. Means Shanti Swarupa Sita ji and Jnana Swarupa Bhagwan Rama. If we want peace or Shanti and Ananda in our life, represented by Sita ji and Bhagwan Rama, then what is the personality of this sadhaka? He is always doing Setu Bandhanam. Setu Bandhanam means ever ready to build bridges. One bridge Janak Maharaj built outside, but his personality was such that he was always open for building good relationships with everybody. Right? We have a phrase also in English, right? We say, don't burn the bridges. What does that mean? It means don't cut off sources for conversation if we can keep them open from our side at all points. These are great sadhana pointers for vyavaharik life. Good family life, good relations in family and social circle, wherever we want we can apply. What is the mindset of a sadhaka? That sadhaka who is seeking Shanti Swarupa Sita ji and Ananda Swarupa Bhagwan Rama, this is their signature in their personality, always ready to build bridges. We had seen earlier that between Dashrath Maharaj and Janak Maharaj, it is said previously everything was not so good, because this Ravana had played some trick in between and he had placed Tadaka, Maricha, Subahu in between that forest of both these two kingdoms, Ayodhya and Mithila Nagari. That is why invitation for Dhanush Yajna was not sent to Ayodhya. Otherwise, Bhagwan would have, Dashrath Maharaj would have known that Dhanush Yajna is happening and everything. Vishwamitra Rishi acted as the glue. He took it upon himself to bring both of them together. He said, you cannot go as a prince, but you can go as my students. So come with me. And then he brought Bhagwan Rama and Lakshmanji. So this Setu Bandhanam starts from here. For Shanti in our life, for Ananda in our life. Personality of this sadhaka is he is always building bridges. So now this is the point where Janak Maharaj and Dashrath Maharaj are coming together. More in terms of whatever differences they had about each other, that they are keeping aside. Bhagwan's entire Leela, you take several prasangas, you will notice this point. What Bhagwan did there was Setu Bandhanam. One bridge he built with the help of monkeys on the ocean from Rameshwaram to Lanka. But Bhagwan started doing this Setu Bandhan Leela much earlier. Wherever this Sambandha was not possible, even there Bhagwan established. What are those two things Bhagwan brought together? Between Nara and Vanara, human beings and Nara means human beings. Vanara means monkeys. Between them, he built one bridge. When he meets Sugriva, Hanumanji for the first time, and then Hanumanji takes him to Sugriva. Bhagwan says, "You are my friend. Become fearless on my strength. Whatever anxieties are worrying, whatever anxieties are there inside, fear is there inside, that you let go of on my strength, I will take care." This point, Sitaji asks Hanumanji when she meets him in Ashok Vatika. He says, "Oh Hanumanji, you are in a monkey form. Tell me how this friendship between monkey and human being took place. What is this friendship between human and monkey?" Hanumanji says, that is the glory of Bhagavan. Where friendship is not possible, there he can build a bridge. Okay. So between Nara and Vanara, Bhagavan built one bridge. Between people of the city and tribal people, Bhagavan built another bridge. First person whom he meets after starting for Vanavasa is Guha, right? The chieftain who is there. Nishad Raj, he meets him. And then later, when Bharatji comes with all his Ayodhya Vasis in Chitrakoot, all these tribal people take very good care of entire Ayodhya Vasis. City people, right, they have a tradition. They say, "What can we give you?" To the tribal people, they say, "What can we give you? You have taken such good care of us." Tribal people say, "You have stayed for this long and we have not stolen anything from you. That itself is a great thing." These things are said in Ramcharitmanas. What they want to say is, before Bhagwan came in our life was very different. It was not something very great. But when Bhagwan owned us up, he gave us his love. After that, our life has changed. And that is sufficient. You don't have to give us anything more. So that is the bridge Bhagwan built between tribals and the city people. Wherever things were not possible, there he made it possible. That is the main point. And last bridge, there are several bridges, but last one is between Sura and Asura. Between Devata-like people who have good qualities and even those who are Asuric, who are born in an Asura Kula. Between them, also he built a bridge. That is why Vibhishanji was very surprised, or he was apprehensive. Will Bhagwan even accept me? Will Bhagwan, I'm leaving Ravana and I'm going to his camp. Will he even accept me in his camp? Hanumanji says, "Don't worry. My master is very good at building bridges." And even while fighting with Ravana, Bhagwan always had in his mind, what is it that will help Ravana also and get our work accomplished? Okay, there also he tried to do the same thing. This is that Chaupai, Avata Jani Bhanu Kulaketu, Saritani Janakam Bandhaye Setu. That sadhaka who wants Sitaji and Bhagwan Rama in their life, their personality is of this kind. Building bridges. Now everybody has gathered on the outskirts of the city of Mithila. Janak Maharaj has sent a team to welcome them from outskirts to inside. But he has not sent them empty-handed. A lot of gifts are there. Goswamiji goes in a lot of detail, elaborating what are the gifts that Janak Maharaj has sent. One dohas we will chant in between, but most of it we will see the literal meaning. After 304. कनक कलश भरि को पर थारा, भाजन ललित अनेक प्रकार। भरे सुधा सम सब पकवाने, नाना भांति न जाहि बखाने। फल अनेक बर वस्तु सुहाई, हर्षि भेट हित भूप पठाई। भूषण बसन महामणि नाना, खग मृग हय गय बहु विधि जाना। मंगल सगुन सुगंध सुहाये, बहुत भांति महिपाल पठाये। दधि चिउरा उपहार अपारा, भरी भरी कांवरि चले कहारा। अगवानन जब दीखि बराता, उर आनंद पुलक भर गाता। देखी बनाव सहित अगवाना, मुदित बरातिन हने निशाना। हर्षि परस पर मिलन हित, कछुक चले बग मेल। जनुआनंद समुद्र दुई, मिलत बिहाय सुबेल। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Janak Maharaj, everything is in gold. Even that plates that carried all this, savories, sweets, all of them were gold plates. And in golden vessels, golden jars, there were a lot of things to drink also, like sharbat was there, and several other things were sent to all Ayodhya-vasis. All of it was made in desi ghee, all the savories, sweets, all of it. Means attention to details and making the other group feel very welcomed in their place. What other things he sent? Fruits, all other gifts, ornaments, different types of clothes, and other animals also were sent. Khagamruga haya gaya bahu vidhi jana. Appropriate animals. Birds were there. Those things which were a symbol of bringing both parties together. If you send the erroneous animal, then things can fall apart. Right? So appropriate birds were there in everything they had sent. Means whenever somebody comes to our place, comes to our home, putting ourselves in that person's shoes and then thinking through what all that person would need. Right? This is an expression of that love for the guest. So that Janak Maharaj is showing over here. He is taking care of their food, their clothing, and all other things that they would need. They have come such a long distance. He also sent different types of auspicious items and also different scents. They were sent. Now every place has their own signature dish. Right? You say, if you go to that place, you have to eat this particular dish over there. So if you ever go to Mithila, their signature dish is dahi chuda. You see Goswamiji writes, third chaupai, dahi chura upahara apara. It is considered as one of the healthiest breakfast, yogurt and poha. So that combination it is dahi chuda. So that also was sent. They might have made it there, and all of them were very well fed. And not little he sent, in good amount, good quantity, just to show that this is a prosperous kingdom and they are welcomed to this place. The welcome team which had gone, they are so thrilled looking at Dashrath Maharaj. Remember, in those days, they probably didn't have other communication methods. Right? Nowadays, you can text somebody and say how many people are coming. You can have some sign-up sheet or something. I wonder at that time, how would they estimate? They just know that Dashrath Maharaj started from Ayodhya. How many people are coming? 2 families, or over here he said thousands and thousands of people came. But they were, somehow or the other, they managed it. And they were happy because whatever our king has sent is very appropriate. so many people have come along with Dasharath Maharaj. He is also a very great king and loved by everybody. After that, now they have to meet, right? Both of these teams are there. Everybody cannot go and meet everybody. There would be chaos. So they send few people from both parties. They come and meet each other, exchange the gifts and everything. Systematically, they are doing this whole process. Thousands of people gathered on that big ground probably. Janu Anandu Samudra Dui Milata Bihaya Subela, 305. They are meeting as though, oceans of Ananda, they have come and met each other. Janu Ananda Samudra Dui Milata Bihaya Subela. At the right occasion, both parties are coming and meeting together. Now all devatas, they are starting to put their flowers. Everybody is so happy. Both parties have met. And all of them, they place it very nicely in front of Dasharath Maharaj. Right? No chaos. Not that suddenly they start distributing on their own, nothing like that. Everything is placed in front of Dasharath Maharaj. And Dasharath Maharaj accepts all of that with respect and with love. Not out of need. Right? Because he himself has brought so many things. And Janak Maharaj has given him all these things. So he's accepting it with lot of love. Prema Sameta Raya Sabu Linha. Second Chaupai after 305. And after he received it, accepted it, did not keep it with himself. Not that he's going to take all the clothing and the jewelry and everything to his own kingdom. He gave it away to everybody who had come with him. Okay, whatever has come. It is said, king should be like the mouth. He should get everything from the world. Means he should have this ability to get resources, but not keep anything with himself. Give it to every other part of this body. Like that, Dasharath Maharaj is. Everything he gives away. And then all other respects and formalities are done. And then they take all the Ayodhya Vasis to their own homes, which Janak Maharaj is specially designed for all these people who are coming from Ayodhya. Then there are royal carpets and rugs that are laid out to welcome all these Ayodhya Vasis inside. And everybody is stunned looking at such beautiful decoration and everything. Ati Sundara Deen Heu Janavasa, Jaha Saba Kahu Saba Bhanti Supasa. Janak Maharaj has made sure that all the accommodation is very well taken care of, and everything that these people need, that has been already kept. Okay. But now, in addition to what Janak Maharaj is preparing, Sita ji shows her glory. She is Divine Mother, the one in whom all prosperity, all wealth, the one in whom it resides, that is our Sita ji. So in entire Ramayana, Sita ji is very quiet. She doesn't show her powers. She doesn't show her strength. In that sense, how Bhagavan Rama shows in several places. Like when Jayanta comes, he takes that blade of grass and makes it into a Brahmastra. But Sita ji is very quiet. She doesn't show her powers in many places. But here, she decided to show a little bit of her Mahima. Jani siya Bharatapura ai, kachu nija Mahima pragata janai. She said, I will also show a little bit of my Mahima. So she just invoked all the siddhis, everything in the form of prosperity, comfort, luxury. Whatever siddhis were there, she invoked all of them and placed it in all these houses that were designed for Ayodhya Vasis. And she kept it in such a way that nobody knew that Sita ji had done this. Everybody thought Janak Maharaj must have arranged. The people whom he had assigned, every person thought somebody else must have kept it. So nobody came to know how did this entire prosperity come into being. All that they saw was the house was very well decorated. You see the first chaupai after 306. Bibhava bheda kachu kovu na jana sakala janaka kara karahi bakhana. Nobody knew where this entire prosperity came from, but everybody was singing the glory of Janak Maharaj. This is Bhagwan's style of giving. Okay, whenever he gives something in our life, he gives it in such a way that it is unnoticed. And it feels as though we have gotten it because of our own efforts. We put efforts, no doubt. But if we pay a little more attention, we will realize our effort was this much and what he gave was much bigger. It's only a matter of appreciating, matter of recognizing. One has to sit down quietly and think about how Bhagwan gives. Like how Sitaji placed all this prosperity in those houses without anybody coming to know. And Sitaji herself is the true owner of all prosperity. Right? Any siddhi which is there, everything belongs to Bhagwan. If you say it belongs to his Shakti, then you say it belongs to Divine Mother. This was the point that Ravana forgot. Ravana also had many things, but he thought he is the master. That is this ahankara. It feels I have done it. That's why again and again he boasts about all his achievements and everything. When Hanumanji goes to Ashok Vatika and he is hungry, he asks Sitaji, "Oh mother, I have come from a long journey. International flight I have taken and no food. It was served in between. Mainak Parvat came. I said, not right now. So I'm very hungry. Can I eat some fruits over here?" Sitaji said, "Eat as much as you want." And then we know all that prasanga happens. Rakshasas come, Hanumanji fights. And then finally he is taken to the court of Ravana. And Ravana asks him this question: why did you uproot my, this Ashok Vatika? Whose permission did you take to uproot it? Hanumanji says, I felt hungry, that is why I uprooted it. Very strange answer it is. You ask somebody why you did something, he says, because I felt like doing it. But actually the symbolic meaning of that is, Hanumanji is telling Ravana, the one to whom that Vatika belonged, her permission I already took. I don't have to take your permission again for that purpose. Recognize this point that Bhagwan is the master of this creation. Right? Ashok Vatika belongs to Sitaji only. And with her blessings, I went and ate all the fruits. And then again he reminds Ravana that you are so proud of your strength. It is only a drop of Bhagwan's strength by which you are this powerful. Meaning the strength doesn't belong to you, it belongs to Bhagwan only. Over here, Janak Maharaj is very well aware of this fact. But Sitaji, in her Leela, she just keeps everything in the right place. But in her heart, she is doing also this Leela of to be daughter-in-law. Right? She sees that Dasharath Maharaj has come, all other Ayodhya Vasis have come. That love she expresses. Nobody else comes to know, but Bhagwan comes to know. Why? Bhagwan is Antaryami. Siya Mahima Raghunayaka Jani, Harashe Hrudaya Hetu Pahichani. He recognized Sitaji's love for Dasharath Maharaj and everybody in his family. Right? Because it is two families coming together, not just two people. Bhagwan Rama and Lakshmanji are so delighted just listening to this news that Dasharath Maharaj has come and they will get to see their father after so long. After they went away with Vishwamitra Rishi, they have not even seen Dasharath Maharaj until this point. So both of them are very happy. But Bhagwan is, Dharma Purushottam. Even in his happiness, he doesn't forget Dharma. He knows that he is with his Guru, so he's a little hesitant also inside, just to go running to the outskirt of the city or to directly go to meet his father. So he just looks at Vishwamitra Rishi, and inside that desire is still there to see his father. Sakuchana kahina sakata guru pahi, pitu darasana la lachumana mahi. And Vishwamitra Rishi is so happy seeing the humility of Bhagavan and Lakshmanji. Both of them, that in spite of being so overpowered by emotions, they are still following this dharma, and they're so humble. They're still as though asking me, can we go now to meet Dashrath Maharaj? So he gives them a warm hug. Harashi bandhu do hrudaya lagai, pulaka anga ambaka jalachai. And there are tears in all three of them. It's just the love between Guru and Shishya. Now they go together to that guest house, wherever Dashrath Maharaj is staying. Goswamiji says, how did that look? Vishwamitra Rishi, Bhagwan Rama and Lakshmanji going towards the place where Dashrath Maharaj is staying. It looked as though the pond which is there is going towards a person who is thirsty. Not thirsty person going towards pond. The pond going towards a person who is thirsty. Dashrath Maharaj is waiting to see Bhagwan. That is his thirst. And Bhagwan himself is going towards him. Manahu sarobara takeu piyase. Sarovar is going to that person who is thirsty. And Bhagwan is coming closer to that place now. Dashrath Maharaj sees Vishwamitra Rishi coming with Bhagwan Rama and Lakshmanji. And just seeing them, he gets up. And how is Dashrath Maharaj going towards Lakshmanji, Bhagwan and Vishwamitra Rishi? Just like somebody who is drowning in ocean of bliss. Ananda Sindhu, ocean of joy. How that person would walk in that ocean, like that Dashrath Maharaj is going towards both of them. Abha Harishi Sukha Sindhu Mahu Chale Thaha Sileta. Chale Thaha Sileta means he's not just running towards them, he's going some distance, stopping, going again and then stopping. If you have walked in water, you know how you walk because there is that resistance from the water. How a person would walk in water, like that Dashrath Maharaj is walking towards them. Now you see, Dashrath Maharaj is also another great, dharma samrat. He has so much of joy, sees his sons for the first time. He doesn't directly go and, take them in his arms and just, give them a hug. First he goes and does pranams to Vishwamitra Rishi. Munihi dandavata keenha mahisa. Does pranams to Vishwamitra Rishi. And then takes the dust of his feet and then puts on his head. All Shishtachara it is called. The right conduct that he follows. And then Vishwamitra Rishi takes him and gives him a warm embrace. Kaushika Rao liye uralai. Not Dashrath Maharaj giving. Dashrath Maharaj is not treating Vishwamitra Rishi as a friend. He has his Guru Bhava. Vishwamitra Rishi is having Sakha Bhava towards Dashrath Maharaj. And then after inquiring about well-being of both of them, then Dashrath Maharaj goes and hugs Bhagwan Rama and Lakshmanji. Before that, Bhagwan and Lakshmanji do pranams to Dashrath Maharaj. They are also following that dharma. But after that, Sutta hiya lai dusaha dukha mete mrutaka sarira prana janu bhete. Second chapai after 307. Dashrath Maharaj felt as though his pranas have come back. If there is a simile that you want to give for this, how did Dashrath Maharaj feel? As though he has gotten his pranas back. Like that he felt when he saw Bhagwan Rama and Lakshmanji. Now Bhagwan bows down to Vasishtha Maharshi, his own guru, right, who taught him Yoga Vasishtha. He remembers all of that. I had gone to, earlier with Vishwamitra Rishi also he had gone, and before he had seen this world, and then this teaching he had gotten from Vasishtha Rishi. That part Bhagwan remembers, and he bows down to Vasishtha Maharshi. And then other Brahmanas are there. All of them Bhagwan bows down to, and they bless Bhagwan because they are just doing their dharma. Whatever auspicious is going to happen, with that blessings, they are blessing Bhagwan right now. And then Bharatji and Shatrugnaji, they come and they see Bhagwan Rama and Lakshmanji. Both of them do pranams. And then Bhagwan embraces Bharatji. Lakshmanji is just standing there and looking at the love between Bharatji and Bhagwan Rama. All of them meet, all are very happy. Bhagwan then goes and meets all his mothers, all the citizens of Ayodhya, relatives, ministers, friends. Now imagine, there are so many thousands and thousands of people who have gathered. But Bhagwan meets each one of them because he knows how to do that Leela, how to become many. He met everybody as though he was talking only to them. That is his Leela. Even later, when he meets all the Vanaras, right, when they gather, when they're getting ready to go to find Sita ji, even that time he does this Leela. So that Bhagwan does and meets everybody. Now, how did everybody feel meeting Bhagwan? Goswamiji says, when Bhagwan was gone, it was as though there was fire, in their mind. That fire has gotten quenched by Bhagwan's darshan. Or they have taken a dip in that cool water. Rama hi deka barata judani, priti ki reeta na jati bakhani. This is after 308, first Chaupai. All of them dipped in this pond. How he had said, right? Vishwamitra Rishi, Bhagwan and Lakshmanji are coming towards Dashrath Maharaj, just like that pond is going towards a thirsty person. It is not only Dashrath Maharaj, all Ayodhya Vasis are thirsty for Bhagwan's darshan. And now, as though they have taken a dip in that cool water of that pond, mind is happy. And then 4 sons are there with Dashrath Maharaj. They are adorning him as though 4 Purusharthas have taken a human form. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. 4 brothers, they have taken, the Purusharthas have taken a human form as his 4 brothers, and then they are seated with Dashrath Maharaj. Seeing the king with his sons, all citizens are happy. Shatananji had come. With Shatananji is the priest of Janak Maharaj, along with all the other bards, all other Vidwans who are there. They also had come. Ministers were there. So they do whatever thing has to be done. Honor, everything is done to Dashrath Maharaj, and then they are getting ready to return back now. Now this Bharat which came, the bridegroom's party, it came one day earlier. So that's why everybody is happy. Otherwise the tension is there. On that day, if they come, then something should not go. They should not miss the time. They should not get delayed. So everybody has come one day before. They say, may this continue. There is so much of joy. They are praying to Bhagwan that may days get longer, may the night also get longer, so we can get more time to spend with everybody. And people of Mithila are talking to each other. What do they say? This Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji, they are the threshold. They are the epitome of beauty. Rama siya sobha avadhi, 309. Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji are the threshold of this beauty. Janak Maharaj and Dashrath Maharaj, they are the the highest forms of dharma or punya. Sukruta avadhi do raja. Jahan taha purajana kahin asa milinara nari samaja. All the people of Mithila are talking between each other. Remember, all Ayodhya Vasis have already come now. right? So they would have probably met each other. So your impression about the place depends upon what people there are talking, right? You go to some place and whatever you hear from them, that is our first impression of that place. So now all Mithila Vasis are making sure that they know the greatness of Janak Maharaj, they know the greatness of this Mithila Nagari. So all of them are sharing different great points about Mithila Nagari. They say Janak Maharaj's Punya Karma has come in the form of Sita ji. All the Punya Karma that Janak Maharaj did, its manifest form is Sita ji. And the Punya Karma of Dashrath Maharaj, the manifest form is Bhagwan Rama. And then there is nobody like Dashrath Maharaj, nobody like Janak Maharaj when it comes to their devotion for Lord Shiva. Ina sama kahuna Siva avaradhe. First Chaupaya after 309. And because of their devotion to Lord Shiva, the result that they have gained, even that is incomparable. Imagine Bhagwan Rama taking avatar in their house, Sita ji being born in their house. And Mithila Vasis must have added few more things from their side. He said, Lord Shiva loves Janak Maharaj the most. Why is it? Because he gave his bow to him. Otherwise, why would he leave his bow with Janak Maharaj to take care of? Right? Lord Shiva's bow only was there for that Dhanush Yajna. So everybody is talking very highly about their king. They say there was nobody like, there were nobody, there is no other king like both of them. There is nobody like them, and there will be nobody like them. In particular here, they are referring to Janak Maharaj. There was nobody like Janak Maharaj, there is no one like him, and there will be nobody like him. And they say, we are very blessed to be born in this Mithila Nagari. What is our, blessing? One is we had the first darshan of Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji together. Jina Janaki Rama Chabi Dekhi, Ko Sukruti Hama Sarisa Biseshi. Third Chaupai after 309. What great fulfillment can be there of this physical eyes other than seeing Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji's beauty? This is Upasana Siddhanta. Some Mahatmas, they would say this. Upasana is fulfilled only when we have darshan of our Ishta Devata. A very tall ask, Upasana is fulfilled only when we have darshan of our Ishta Devata. That is only to fine-tune our commitment. Not to feel like, oh, I don't know how far that thing is. Not in that sense. But just to intensify our longing for Bhagwan, it is put in that way. So these Mithila Vasis are saying now, we are so blessed because we have had darshan of Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji. There is nothing more purifying than that. Our own previous punyas have given us this. But their darshan gives a lot more punya. So much so that it will liberate that person. Jiva pahi nija sahaja swarupa. Mama darsana phala parama anupa. Bhagwan Rama tells Shabri ji that my darshan phala is such that mind gets so purified that for Tattva Jnanam to take place, it is not too far for that sadhaka. Okay. And now they say, not only we had darshan of Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji, but now we are going to witness the wedding also. Right? That's why we are even more delighted. And what is the other good thing? Our bhagya is such that both these brothers, Bhagwan Rama and Lakshman ji, will keep being guests to our eyes. What a nice way to put it. Nayana Atiti Hoi Hahi Do Bhai. One guest is, who comes to our house. What he says, they say, both of them will be guests to our eyes. Why? Because Janak Maharaj loves Sita ji so much. So time and again, he will call her from Ayodhya. And both of them, they will not send anybody else to take her back. So they will come themselves to take Sita ji back to Ayodhya. And like this, we will keep getting their darshan more and more. Okay, so this is such a great blessing. And every time they come, we will make them feel very special. So Mithila Nagari, we will provide everything. So this has to be a conversation between Mithila Vasis and Ayodhya Vasis. They are having outside discussions. It's so pure. Even those conversations are surrounded around Bhagavan. You see, whenever Bhagavan comes, we will make him feel very special. He will love such an in-laws place. They put it other way. Who will not like such a place? You see the first chaupai after 310. Bibida bhati hoi hahi pahunai, priyana kahi asa sasuramai. Who will not like such a place? We will make sure that Bhagavan wants to keep coming again and again to Mithila Nagari. And in this pretext, we'll get to see both of them. And now those Sakhis are talking to each other. They say, listen, another thing. This Dashrath Maharaj, he has two other Rajkumaras, two other sons who look exactly like Bhagwan Rama and Lakshmanji. One of them, I think that his name is Bharata. They have already figured that out. This is Bharata, he looks exactly like Bhagwan Rama. If you don't look closely, you cannot figure out who is Bhagwan Rama, who is Bharatji. This confusion, the tribals, Nishad Raj and all his people, they also had. When Bhagwan came and he went, they saw Bhagwan first time. Second time, Bharatji came. And they said, Bhagwan just went. How come this another Bhagwan is coming? They said one of them was very calm face, but the second one looks a little sad. Bharatji was a little sad. So they could not figure out who is Bhagwan and who is Bharatji. So all Mithila Vasis are saying both of them look very similar. And other one is just like our Lakshmanji. Shatrugnaji and Lakshmanji, they look similar. But they say, although the similarities are there, there is one thing which is common to all of them. What is it? You look at the chaupai above that chandas. Mana bhavahi mukha baranina jahi. One thing which is common to all of them is they all take your mind away. You just look at them, their swabhava is such, their beauty is such that mind is just taken away by looking at them. That one thing is common to all of them. Now, who is fair, who is dark, all of that is secondary. This quality is common to all four brothers. So now this Sakhis from Mithila, previously they prayed that may Bhagwan get married to Sita ji. Now they are praying, may all these four brothers get married in our own city. Pura nari sakala pasari anchala, bidihi bachana sunavahi, byahiyahu chariya bhai ehi pura, hama sumangala gavahi. All of them say, may all these four brothers get married in Mithila only. They say both these kings are oceans of punya. They have done a lot of punya karma. They are great kings, and Bhagwan will very well accomplish even this desire of ours. Now all these Sakhis are, delighted. They are singing, doing so many other things. And then our other kings who are there, who had come to that Swayamvara, their minds also have changed now. They also are very happy to see everything. It is said everything is power of Bhagwan's darshan. Okay, that is this whole prasanga. And now they also sing Bhagwan's glory and then go back to their own palaces. Now finally, that wedding day has come. Okay. Mangala Moola Lagana Dinu Ava, Himaritu Ahaganu Masu Suhava. This is third chaupai after 311. So Bhagwan was born in April time, right? Navami Titi Madhumasa Punita. Very hot season. But the wedding season is in Margashirsha, Margari month. Everything is very calm, very cool. It's also called as Agrahayana Masa. That is why Goswami has used Himarutu Ahaganu Masu. Agrahayana Masa, very auspicious for sadhana. So many people have different vows that they take during Margari, singing Bhagwan's name, doing more of Sankirtanam of Bhagwan. It has special punya. So that all of them remember, and Janak Maharaj is getting ready now. Bhagwan has to get married with Sita ji. So the Muhurat, the auspicious time for that wedding, is chosen by Brahmaji only. Brahmaji says, I only will have to choose because Bhagwan, Lord of the universe, is going to get married. Brahmaji chooses the appropriate auspicious time, Muhurtam is chosen, and then he sends the invitation card with Naradji. Paite dinhi Naradasana soi, Gani Janakake, Ganakana joyi. Janak Maharaj is surprised. He also is planning from his side. Brahmaji has already planned something and he has sent the wedding card from his side. Brahmaji has sent. But the good thing was, whatever time that Janak Maharaj's astrologers had decided, the same time Brahmaji also chose. So they were so surprised that they started praising all these astrologers of Janak Maharaj. They said, Janak Maharaj, your astrologers are Brahmaji only. They were very happy about it. And then Janak Maharaj says, Dhenu dhuri bela bimala. Dhenu dhuri means that time when cows return back from grazing. Evening time, when it is just near sunset time, it is said there is dust which has come up from the hoof of that cow. During that time, it is considered very auspicious. So that time came. So Janak Maharaj said, what is the delay now? Why delay anymore? Let us get ready for this preparation. So he calls Shatananji, and then all other ministers are called. They bring all the materials which are there that they have to take now to the place where Dashrath Maharaj is there, and then he has to bring them over to his place. So what all materials were there, everything is given over here. Sankha Nisana Panava Bahubaje Mangala Kalasa Saguna Sabusaje. Second Chaupai after 312. All Shankha is there, different type of musical instruments. All other things which are needed for a wedding, that is there. And people are singing, doing some Vedic chanting. Now what are they getting ready for? Going to Dashrath Maharaj and bringing him over to their place, to that mandapam. Okay, I'm just looking at the time. So all of them, they go to where Dashrath Maharaj is there. And Janak Maharaj, everybody goes there. And then they request Dashrath Maharaj that now is the appropriate time, Muhurtam has come. So please start so that we can go to the mandapam. Now you might wonder, are we going to that wedding prasanga right now or tomorrow? I mean, in the next class? No, Goswami writes around 20 dohas after this until the actual wedding has to take place. It's a long time, but Goswamiji says, wherever there is Bhagwan, wherever there is Sita ji, that prasanga is very sweet. So through whatever means, either it is prasanga of marriage or some other prasanga, we should keep our mind in Bhagwan. Kenapi upayana manaha rame niveshayet. With whatever upaya, keep your mind in Bhagwan Rama. So Dashrath Maharaj, seeing all of them, doesn't directly start. First he asks his guru, Vasishtha Maharshi, consults him, does all the traditional things, whichever has to be done, remembers Bhagwan, and then they start going towards this mandapam. All other devatas who are there, they start singing glories of Dashrath Maharaj, and they feel even this devata sharira is nothing compared to the greatness of Dashrath Maharaj. He has Bhagwan Rama as his son, Janak Maharaj as his, relative now, who is going to come. Sita ji as his daughter-in-law. Such great is Dashrath Maharaj. So everybody starts singing his glory. What do they do? Surana Sumangala Avasaru Jana Barashahi Sumana Bajai Nisana. First chaupai after 313. They start showering flowers. Sumangala means knowing that this is an auspicious occasion. They start showering flowers. Now, whenever Goswamiji use words, every word we can open up and think about it. This word Suman, one literal meaning of that is flower. But the implied meaning of that is sadbhava. Having very pure emotions, pure thoughts about the other person, that is called as Sumana. So that they are showering upon Dashrath Maharaj. What we otherwise say is best wishes, good wishes, that is there in his heart. All devatas are doing that. Brahmaji, Lord Shiva, everybody is doing that shower of Sumana. So even when we do pujanam of Bhagwan, it is said one pujanam we do with flowers. Right? One is with the flower that we are offering. But our real pujan of Bhagwan is through this sadbhava. We are offering that flower, but we are seeking Bhagwan, may we have that sadbhava in our life so that we can have a cheerful mind. So now, looking at Dashrath Maharaj getting ready to come to this mandapam, all devatas get ready. All other devatas, Indra is there, everybody is there. Lord Shiva, Brahmaji, even they are getting ready to come to this wedding now. Their ananda, joy which is there is indescribable. All of them are getting ready. They are so thrilled, that this occasion has finally come. And then they also see Mithila Nagari, and they see our Amravati, all Indra's Swarga. That is nothing compared to Mithila Nagari. The greatness of Janak Maharaj also. But one thing catches their attention, that is this mandapam, which was so exquisite, designed as a specially, by somebody who is very, very skilled. So much so that even Brahmaji is surprised. It is said over here, that Brahmaji is so surprised looking at Mithila Nagari. He says, whatever I have created, nothing is here. Previously, we saw that, right? When they made that plantain tree out of gold. It was so real that Brahmaji got confused. He felt it was his own creation. Now Brahmaji is himself feeling that way. You see the chaupai above, 314. Bidihi bhayavu a charaju biseshi nija karani kachu katahuna dekhi. Brahmaji is surprised looking at entire Mithila Nagari and this mandapam. He says, whatever I have created, nothing is over here. And Goswamiji writes another interesting chaupai after that, you see. Doha 314. Siva samujhaye deva sabha jani achara jabulahu. Hrudaya bicharahu dhira dhari siya ragu bira byahu. Whenever we have made something and we leave that and then hope that it will be taken and displayed somewhere. But when you go to that place, you don't see what you have made. So natural feeling is you will feel disappointed. Right? Even though there are so many other things happening, you will feel disappointed that what you had made is not there. So Goswami says Brahmaji is feeling like that. He's feeling a little low right now because he doesn't see anything of his creation in Janak Maharaj's mandapam. So Lord Shiva is consoling Brahmaji. He says, Brahmaji, why are you missing out on this such a joyous occasion? Don't worry about your creation, my creation. Just feast your eyes on Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji and just enjoy this wedding. Hrudaya bicharahu dhira dhari siya ragu bira byahu. And first line he says, Siva samujhayi. He is telling Brahmaji, if your attention is on yourself, you will not enjoy that moment. attention is on Bhagwan, attention is on a bigger goal. He says, even if our creation is not there, still will be unaffected. Okay. So until this point was one prasanga. Okay. Now they have come from the outskirts of Mithila Nagari all the way to that mandapam. Goswamiji will slowly elaborate further also. We'll do our Nama Sankirtanam. Aganita Gunagana Bhushana Rama Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama Apad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama Dasharathanandana Shri Rama Dashamukhamardana Jaya Jaya Rama Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama Papa Vimochana Shri Rama Pathavi Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama Jaya Raghu Rama Jaya Sita Rama Vanara Sevita Shri Rama Varidhi Bandhana Jaya Jaya Rama Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama Patita Pavana Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Syavara Ramachandra ki jai Satgurunath Maharaj ki jai Hari Om.